Okay, I want you to picture this. Imagine a lone figure. It's Jacob, and he's asleep out in the middle of nowhere, just under a blanket of stars. And as the very first hints of dawn start to break, the morning light, well, it does something strange. It doesn't just light up the landscape, it actually starts to intensify, to gather with this sense of purpose. The scattered, ordinary stones beneath his head begin to stir, drawn by some unseen force. They start to flow like liquid light, merging, consolidating, until a single, radiant stone emerges, Haven, the stone. You can feel it hum with this latent power as it rises from the earth, glowing from within. It's not just a rock anymore, it's a pillar of pure potential. And then, from the heavens, streams of light descend, and from the earth, currents of energy rise up, all converging on this pillar. It absorbs them, it expands, and it transforms into a living, breathing structure, the Beit Elohim, the house of God, a place rooted in our physical world, but crowned in the highest heavens. This is the vision we are unpacking today.
So right here, this one line, this is our key. It's a verse from the Zohar, and when you really look at it, you realize it's not just a statement. It's a blueprint. A blueprint for the very architecture of reality itself. So let's start unpacking this thing. All right, so the big question is, how in the world do you get from a simple stone to a divine dwelling? We're going to take a journey here through 6 different layers. We're going to peel this story back like an onion, from the literal surface all the way down to its deepest, most mystical core. All right, first step, the dreamer and the stones. Let's start with the pshat. You know, the simple, literal narrative that we all know. So, Jacob's fleeing his brother Esau. He lies down to rest in this pretty desolate place, and he grabs some stones to put under his head. But, you know, the Midrash Hane'elam tells us this wasn't just a random act. He actually sensed that one of these stones was, and I'm quoting here, the mainstay for all. It was the absolute focal point of that whole sacred place. He had this gut feeling, right? He basically thought, if this stone goes up, I go up. He just knew that his destiny and the destiny of this stone were completely intertwined. It wasn't just a pillow. It was like a stand-in for his own potential, a physical anchor for his entire spiritual journey. And that's a pretty profound idea when you think about it, right? That our own destiny can be tied to how we interact with the physical world right in front of us. Okay, let's go a level deeper. Section 2, from many, one foundation. This is the remez, the allegorical hint, where the story starts pointing to a much deeper truth about unity. So here's what happens. First, Jacob gathers 12 stones. Then, this miraculous thing occurs. During the night, the 12 stones actually start arguing about which one of them is going to get to support the tzaddik's head. And then, God steps in and just merges all 12 into one single stone. So in the morning, Jacob takes that one stone and anoints it, setting it up as a sacred pillar, a matzavah. Now, this whole story is a miracle, right? But it's also a powerful picture. Those 12 stones, they represent the 12 future tribes of Israel, a perfect image of diversity and, potential conflict. And they get fused into one single unified entity. I mean, think about that argument. It's a beautiful metaphor for the friction you see everywhere, right? In families and communities, everyone wants to be the one true foundation. But what this story is telling us is that real strength, the kind of foundation that can actually hold something holy, doesn't come from one voice winning. It comes from all those voices merging into a single unified purpose. So this is the whole point right here. The transformation from 12 to 1. And this isn't just about some rocks, obviously. It's a powerful blueprint for nation building. It shows that real, lasting strength doesn't come from everyone being the same, but from harmoniously integrating all these distinct parts into something much, much greater. All right, now let's zoom way out. Section 3, the cosmic cornerstone. We're moving to the drash, the conceptual blueprint. And this is where we'll see how this story isn't just about Jacob or the tribes. It's about the foundation of the entire cosmos. So, the sages connect Jacob's stone to this huge cosmic idea, the Even Shetia, which literally means the foundation stone. This is the primordial point from which the entire world was woven and established. But wait, the Zohar asks this brilliant question. How could Jacob place a stone that already existed before creation? It doesn't make sense, right? And the answer is just, it's so profound. He didn't create it. His actions established its function. He was the one who activated it, turning this latent cosmic point into an active interface between heaven and earth. It's like he brought the whole system online. And this stone, man, it has so many names in Kabbalistic literature, especially in Pardes Ramonim. Each name just peels back another layer of what it does. It's called the Even Yisrael, the Stone of Israel, which is the spiritual root of the nation. It's the Even Madasu Habonim, the stone the builders rejected, that overlooked but essential cornerstone. It's the Even Bokon, a testing stone for the righteous. The Even Hasapir, a sapphire stone that reflects all the spiritual colors. Even Shlema, the complete stone, signifying wholeness. And even Jesheva bore all, the stone with 7 eyes, which is this conduit for divine providence. You see, it's not just one thing, it's the potential for everything. And now we get to the heart of it all. This is the moment of real discovery. Section 4, Sod, the mechanics of reception. We're about to enter the secret level to see the mystical mechanics of how this whole cosmic foundation actually works. Okay, so the Zohar and the great Kabbalists, the Ori, they teach that this foundation stone, it's actually a code name for the Sephirah of Malkut, or kingdom. Now, what are the Sephirot, real quick? Just imagine this divine energy flowing down from an infinite source. And to manifest in our reality, it has to pass through 10 different stages, or filters. Malkut is the very last one, the 10th. Its entire job, its whole purpose, is to be the ultimate vessel, the final point of reception for all that divine flow coming from above. It's the point where the spiritual finally becomes physical, and mystically, it's called the stone. But here's the thing. For Malchut to go from being just a point or a stone to becoming a house, it has to be built in a very specific way. Think about it. A single point can be a target, right? But a house can be a home. It can contain things, it can organize energy, it lets you dwell inside that divine reception. So the building of this house is this huge cosmic process of developing Malchut's ability to handle the insane amount of energy it's meant to receive. Because without the right structure, that light would just be too much. It would overwhelm and shatter the vessel. This is the mystical secret behind creating a world that can actually last. Now, check this out. This shows exactly how the house gets built. It's this incredibly dynamic process. So you have the stone, Malchut, and it gets this flow of energy from the right. That's chesed, loving kindness. Think of it as pure, expansive giving. Then, from the left, it gets the flow of Gevura. That's severity or discipline. That's the energy of structure, of boundaries. These two opposing forces then get unified from above, flowing down as a single balanced stream of energy. But, and this is so important, look at the bottom. Malchut is also built from below. Our prayers, our good deeds, they rise up and help build it. They give it substance. So you've got this incredible four-way flow, right, left, above, and below. That is what creates a stable base, a basis, for the whole divine structure to stand on. And this brings us right back to the secret of the 12 stones. It's the exact same process. All those diverse channels, those different energies. You can even think of them as multicolored lights, the pure white of Chesed and the deep red of Gevura. They all integrate into one balanced, stable structure. This is what allows Malchut to hold that immense divine light without shattering. This is the great cosmic fix, the tikkun. It's the solution to that mystical idea of the death of the kings, where the original vessels just couldn't handle the light and broke. The unified stone, the house of God, that is the perfected vessel, built to receive it all. Okay, I know that was incredibly abstract, so let's bring it back down to earth. Let's use some modern analogies to make sense of these cosmic blueprints. Section 5, Blueprints for Modern Minds. Let's see how this builds in a way we can all really get. This just illustrates it perfectly. On the one hand, think of it like a video game. You've got these scattered power crystals. That's like the 12 tribes, and they're all pretty weak on their own. So what do? You take them to the altar of unification, and you forge the ultimate power core. That's our even Shedia. Then you use that core to build your main base, the Beit Elohim, which powers up your whole world and defends against darkness. Now look at the other side, the cosmic engineering version. You've got these distributed, independent data nodes, souls, perspectives, whatever, and they're really inefficient. So you consolidate them into a single foundational architecture node. That's Malchut. This core node stabilizes the whole network so it can receive and process the full data stream from central command. See? Video game or tech system, the principle is exactly the same. Consolidating scattered parts into a unified, stable foundation is what lets you build something powerful and permanent. So what's the takeaway? Why does any of this ancient mystical secret matter to us right here, right now? Well, because this cosmic blueprint, it's also a blueprint for our own lives. Section 6, Building Your Own House.
Look, we all have these scattered stones in our lives. We all have competing priorities pulling us in a million directions. Our attention is totally fragmented. We have these disconnected parts of our life, right? There's work you, family you, spiritual you, and they don't always talk to each other. We've got unintegrated emotions and ideas, contradictory goals. These are our 12 stones, all arguing over which one gets to be the foundation of our life. So our spiritual work, just like Jacob's, is to find the one stone, that core purpose or unifying principle, and build our entire life upon it. It's about performing that same miracle of unification inside ourselves. It's the hard work of looking inward, of finding our integrity, and gathering up all those scattered parts to fuse them around one central foundation. Maybe it's a core mission, a primary value, a single point of truth that brings everything else into harmony.
And when we do that, that's when our life itself becomes a Beit Elohim, a house of God. It's no longer just a collection of disconnected rooms. It becomes a coherent, integrated structure, a vessel that is actually capable of receiving and channeling blessing into the world. It becomes a stable place that can handle the divine flow, inspiration, creativity, love, abundance, and then channel it right back out through our actions and our relationships.
So the question that Zohar leaves us with is this: what scattered stones in your life are waiting to become one foundation? It's not just ancient mysticism, you see. It's a direct call to action for every single one of us to begin that sacred work of unification within ourselves. Thank you for joining us for this complete journey through the Pardes. We hope these ancient truths help you and your family improve your own dimensions this week. If you enjoyed this full chapter deep dive, please like, subscribe, and share which part of the journey touched your soul in the comments. We'll see you in the next chapter.